Have you ever felt like something's just off with your dog? Like the bond you once shared isn't quite the same anymore? Dogs are emotional creatures, and their behavior tells a story, sometimes a story we don't want to hear. In this video, we're uncovering clear signs that your dog may not love you as much as they used to. If you've been noticing any of these, it might be time to reflect on your relationship and rebuild that trust. Let's dive in. First, let's address something important. Dogs don't just stop loving their owners for no reason. They're incredibly loyal by nature, and their bond with you is built on trust, care, and consistency. But that bond isn't unshakable. Life changes, negative experiences, or even subtle shifts in how you interact with them can weaken the connection. And when that happens, your dog's behavior changes too. It's their way of saying, something's wrong. Number 1, they no longer want to sleep near you. Dogs are pack animals at heart, and their instinct tells them to sleep close to those they trust. If your dog has always snuggled with you at night, but suddenly starts sleeping alone, on the couch, in another room, or even on the floor, it's a clear sign that the bond may be fading. When a dog chooses to sleep away from their owner, it could mean they no longer feel safe or comforted by your presence. This could happen if there's been a shift in your relationship, such as less time spent together, or an increase in scolding or tension. Dogs associate your scent with safety, so if they're actively avoiding sleeping near you, it's a warning sign you shouldn't ignore. Number 2, they avoid eye contact. Have you noticed your dog no longer looks you in the eye? Eye contact is a deeply emotional gesture in the dog world. When a dog trusts and loves you, they'll hold your gaze, even though it goes against their natural instincts. In the wild, prolonged eye contact between animals can be seen as a threat. So when your dog gazes into your eyes, it's a huge display of trust. But if your dog starts avoiding your gaze, it could mean they feel disconnected or uncomfortable around you. This might happen if they've experienced punishment, harsh words, or inconsistent behavior from you. Without that emotional safety net, they'll stop using eye contact as a way to bond. Research even shows that when dogs hold eye contact with their humans, both parties release oxytocin, also known as the love hormone. So if the eye contact stops, that emotional connection may be weakening. Number 3, they don't come to you for comfort. Dogs naturally seek their owners when they're scared, anxious, or upset. Whether it's a thunderstorm, fireworks, or a stranger at the door, your dog should instinctively see you as their source of comfort and protection. But if your dog starts avoiding you during these moments, it's a sign they no longer feel emotionally secure with you. Dogs pick up on subtle changes in our behavior, and if they sense a lack of care or attention, they might stop turning to us for comfort. Number 4, they stop checking in with you. One of the clearest signs of a strong bond with your dog is their tendency to check in with you. Whether you're on a walk, in the yard, or simply moving from one room to another, a dog who loves and trusts you will naturally want to know where you are. They'll glance back at you during walks, follow you from room to room, or nudge you with their nose to ensure you're still nearby. But if your dog stops this behavior and seems indifferent to your presence, it could mean they no longer view you as their source of guidance and safety. This is especially concerning because checking in is rooted in their instinct for security. In the wild, dogs rely on their pack to provide safety cues. If they've stopped seeing you as their pack leader, it's time to reflect on what may have caused that disconnect. Sometimes, this could also stem from frustration or neglect. If your dog feels ignored, or if their attempts to connect with you are consistently brushed off, they may stop trying altogether. Number 5, they become distant or anxious around you. Dogs are incredibly in tune with human emotions. They can sense when you're stressed, upset, or angry even if you're trying to hide it. If your dog starts acting distant, avoids physical contact, or seems anxious in your presence, it might be a reflection of how they're feeling about your energy. This behavior is often tied to inconsistency. Dogs thrive on routine and predictability, so when they sense a change in how you interact with them, it impacts their emotional well-being. Number 6, they stop listening to your commands. When your dog loves and respects you, they'll naturally respond to your commands. But if your dog starts ignoring you, whether it's a simple sit, stay, or their name, It could be a sign that they no longer see you as their leader. This isn't just about training. It's about the emotional connection that makes them want to listen. Dogs are highly attuned to tone of voice, body language, and energy. If you've become less consistent in your communication or less engaged in your interactions, your dog may lose the motivation to obey. This behavior might also indicate frustration or a lack of trust. To rebuild this, focus on positive reinforcement and consistency in your commands. Number 7. They don't seem excited to see you anymore. One of the purest expressions of love from a dog is the way they greet you. Whether you've been gone for 5 minutes or 5 hours, most dogs will wag their tails, jump, and show excitement when you walk through the door. If your dog no longer displays this enthusiasm, or worse, doesn't even acknowledge your return, it's a major red flag. This lack of excitement could mean they feel neglected, overlooked, or even resentful. Dogs are social creatures, and if they feel like they're not a priority in your life, their behavior will reflect that. It's important to address this as soon as possible by spending more quality time together and re-establishing the joy in your interactions. Seeing these signs can be heartbreaking, but the good news is that your dog's love isn't lost forever. The bond between you and your dog can be rebuilt with time, patience, and effort. Here are a few steps to take if you think your dog's feelings toward you have changed. Number 1, spend quality time together. Dogs crave connection. Set aside time each day to play, go for walks, or simply cuddle with your dog. These small acts of care can make a big difference. Number 2, be consistent. Dogs thrive on routine and predictability. Stick to regular feeding times, walks, and play sessions to create a sense of stability. Number 3, focus on positive reinforcement. Reward your dog for good behavior with treats, praise, and affection. This helps rebuild trust and strengthens your bond. Number 4, reflect on your behavior. Think about how you've been interacting with your dog. Have you been distant, stressed, or inconsistent? Making changes in your own behavior can have a huge impact on your dog's feelings. Number 5, address any underlying issues. If your dog's behavior has changed suddenly, it's worth checking in with a veterinarian. Health issues or anxiety could be contributing to their actions. Dogs are incredibly forgiving creatures. Even if the bond has been damaged, they're often willing to give you another chance so long as you show them love, patience, and consistency. Pay attention to their behavior, make the effort to reconnect, and remember, a dog's love is one of the purest forms of affection there is. It's never too late to rebuild that relationship. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe for more of these kinds of videos. Thanks for watching.